Almost 2 years ago, Dad lost his beloved JCB Fast Track. He'd had it for almost 20 years and never did he plan to sell it, and he thought it would last him out. Fast forward a few months, some of you might remember us pulling out this old John Deere 4440 out of the hedge. And it's thanks to everyone that supported the channel, watching this video and liking it and whatever, which has actually allowed us to take it away and get the gearbox repaired. First thing we did was load it up on the lorry, take it back to the yard and get it running. It should have been better if I could have sat on the seat. Ooh. This is nice. Stop. Pull that off. Take two. Give her a little bit of throttle then. A little bit? Oh, about halfway. Why did you let it stop? I didn't touch it. When we did eventually get it going, we discovered that it lost several of the gears, several of the forward gears and one of the reverse. And the steering also did absolutely nothing at all. And this is where Big Dave came in. He connected up his series of gauges to test the power shift gearbox and where the fault might actually be inside the gearbox.
175. Back up to 6. Back up to 150. 560. Go to 7. It's going to drop off again because that's C3. And if I go into 8, it'll come back over. There we are. So 8, we got it. 7th, we haven't. 6, it comes back. 5th, it's still there. 4th gear, we lose it. Same with 3rd. Same with 2nd. Same with 1st. And I believe neutral. I think it's locked up in neutral. If I come across the gate into reverse neutral, we've recovered our regulated pressure. And then in reverse, first reverse, second reverse, third reverse, and 4th reverse. So we got pressure in all the reverse speeds. That, however, is not the full test.
He then connected his gauge up to the power steering pump to try and find out where the fault was with the steering circuit.
Loop pressure there, 27 psi. Now if I stroke the pump, so we've now gone from 27, 28, we've dropped down to 20 psi or below. You hear the engine labour now, That means that pump is displacing oil, and it shouldn't be.
After Dave spent many hours doing several tests, he then decided to take the tractor inside and start to strip it down. And it wasn't long before they discovered some pretty bad problems.
There, look. I don't think that's supposed to do that. Yeah. You've got the gist of that then, Adam? And that there, can you see that bit there? Hopefully I won't look. Oh, that is the bearing wrist, exactly what you said. See if I can. The more I mess about with that, the deeper it gets into the guts of it. And what I nearly hit the If only I had a magnet.
A few days later we returned and David completely stripped the tractor down and the gearbox entirely and started to clean it out.
I haven't spotted this before, but something's happened on that PTO drive line.
That's the one there then.
Well, that's the one we come across first.
Yeah.
But something's occurred in here, Adam. Go up the back.
Yeah.
Up through there. It's better if it was lead flat. But there should be a circlip sat in this groove here where my fingertip is.
Yeah.
But this surface here, under my fingertip now, has all been milled off by the gear.
Been shoved up the arse of it.
Well, the circlip, which is further back here in this groove, it jumped out.
Yeah.
Probably because the shaft had been shoved up the back of the tractor, PTO shaft too long, etc., that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Pushed the circlip out, allowed the shaft to go forward, and the gear has milled the casting away there. Right away, I'll show you later. So that's the remains of that one, and that's the remains of that one there. See it. And I think that something's rammed this shaft from the back of the tractor, pushed this circlip out. This circlip has run around and spun into this shaft, and it's lashed the differential as well. So in there, look, he's been spinning around on there for some of the time, and then maybe dinner time he stopped, I don't know. But that's the remains of your bearing and the circlip. Oh no, there's a cage. And I'll grab those shafts. So our rear bearing sits in this casting here, prevented from going forward by the circlip there, prevented from coming backwards by this circlip here, sat in a groove. If I could just pretend I'm a pair of pliers and get that in that groove. Now then, what's supposed to hold that circlip in the groove was drained out with the oil. So what I think happened is the shaft like I said, pushed out the front circlip and continued to press the gear, and has milled this casting away completely, to which point he grabbed hold of the circlip and flipped him out. So now we need to repair that, I think. And what I came up with, and I'm open to suggestions, is for somebody to spin up a ring and you know, have a little step in the back of it to accommodate the circlip, and then drill this surface, something like M4, and countersink the ring, you know, and almost have it, you know, a chain drilled all the way around, or, you know, not chain drilled, but, you know, very close spacings with some good countersunk screws, and screw on a plate to retain our circlip. And that's our cup and our cone, the remains of that. This spun on this shaft, so really this shaft in my mind is destroyed and requires a new one, or a second-hand one, which are available out of America. So what we would have there basically is that's the way it would be installed. That coupling and gear mounts and is allowed to rotate on there when it's in tow. So that will be in tow so it can spin free. When it's not in tow, when the tractor's been driven, he's locked to the shaft. This bearing here slides nicely onto there, or it should do, but it won't do because I want it to. There we are. And his cup is mounted in this web there, and he's in there nice and snug. This one, the bearing cup goes on there, or a cone rather goes on there, and as you can see, that is not serviceable. And the rollers have fallen out. For the life of me, I don't know how they never got between the gear teeth, but they did manage to get behind the pinion shaft bearing, and there was one in the pinion shaft bearing, which is where my finger is now. But yeah, so that's that. And the reason that we lost gears 1 to 5 and 7, basically the C3 clutch, is because the oil for C3 clutch comes out of this port here and is carried up to the bearing cover here and is taken down the shaft with a little seal ring in there to this hole here, where these two seal rings are here, and then it goes into the C3 clutch. Well, with this destroyed, with no C3 clutch pressure, anything that used C3, we weren't going anywhere. So there we are. That is the story of the 4440 so far. I'm not on. You got to blank that out. That won't be on YouTube because that needs to be grayed out.
Big Dave then took the transmission casing away to the machinist to have that damaged casting milled out and repaired. Several weeks later, mainly because of parts coming from the US, David got the gearbox built back up. All the power shift bands that we thought needed replacing got replaced for new, and any bearing that looked bad was changed, and everything that looked like it needed changing we changed, which took a lot of time to get all the stuff from America and wasn't silly expensive. You could also see the part that he had milled out and repaired all nicely sorted out so the circlip can remain in place. A few more days later, Dave had the John Deere built back up, had all the aircon fixed, parts of the dashboard sorted, even all the headlights and wiring, alternator, fan pulleys, all manner of things he went through and sorted every little bit out. And it was its first time driving out the shed and he had a bit of farming to do to test it out. A few weeks later, Dave would use it for corn carting, and then it came home. And for me, the whole purpose of getting this tractor sorted out and fixed was to give it to Dad, to replace his fast track that burnt out.
I've quite got the hang of it. It is weird without a foot throttle, isn't it? Yeah. Gonna go up another range. A bit rough, isn't it?
When I was growing up, I just didn't love farming the way that Dad did, and I didn't want him to let things like the fast track burning down take away from the things he loved. Dad's in his 70s now, and I want the remainder of his farming career to be a peaceful one. That reminds me, I must fit a fire extinguisher before next harvest. Special thanks to Big Dave and his attention to detail and dedication to get this John Deere back to running condition.